Welcome aboard, it's Captain G to Newblood, 17.1, July of 1944, Germany. First off, Eggman is not with us in this video. He'll join us for the Japan turn. So bear with me as I do this on my own. I'm not as experienced in practice as this as my fellow players, so I'm bound to make mistakes doing it solo. And second of all, we are now in the phase of the game where at the end of each round, the US player will be rolling to see if the game is over. So it could end at any time. This could be the last German turn. And I just wanted to say this has been a blast. Much appreciation to Mark the Shark and Lancerbolt for playing this game with Eggman and myself. We've had a lot of fun. We've learned a lot about the rules and have enjoyed sharing it with Lancerbolt and Mark the Shark and all of you. All right, tech, probably the worst part of the game for the Axis. All right, so we have 4 undamaged major factories. We are going for radar at a 7 in the black dice. Anti-sub warfare, we're starting a new tech even at this late stage in the game. So that's a 7, the red dice. Jet fighters at an 8 with the white dice. We're on stage 3, so we're hoping to hit that so we can have jet fighters this turn. And in green, improved logistics. We've been rolling on this since turn 2. This is turn 17, and we are only 2 stages into it. So let me move the Vichy and the Spanish dice out of the box, and we'll gather up the techs. All right, I see a 12 for improved logistics, which is great. A 9 for anti-sub, an 8 for radar, and of course jets. It would be too much to wish for 4. So 3 out of 4 is still better than we've done before, and that does impact our buy. So let me temporarily move this out of the way. I'll need it again. Let me move down our buy. Love these new build plates. Much easier to move around than the coasters. Plenty of room. So Germany came into the turn with 70 IPP cash on hand, and I have to move the jet fighter off because we did not get that tech. So we'll go with the alternate. We lost 2 to British convoy rating. That's what this represents. We are not building a jet. We are instead building a fighter and a militia. So that's the 12. That takes us to 14. We're building 2 medium armor for another 12. That's 26. 1 fighter Lend-Lease to Italy. That's 10. That's 36. 2 advanced mechs for 8. That's 44. 2 Panzer Grenadiers for 8. That's 52. We're going to complete the airfield in Warsaw for 2 because we have improved construction. So that's 56. We're going to finish the fortification in Paris for 4. That's 58. We're going to start a new fortification in Warsaw, part 1, for 4. That's 62. And then we have 1 airborne and 1 infantry for 3 each. That takes us to 68 out of 70. The last 2, we're upgrading 2 existing infantry to motor rifle infantry. That's our full 70. So I will move them out of the way for now as I outline our combat moves for this turn. Actually, let me just go ahead, get it out of the way. Vichy France and Nationalist Spain have no moves. Everything's going to stay exactly where it is. And we're just going to go ahead and go directly to their recruitment rolls. So we're done with those 2 countries. 1 blue dice for Vichy France and a 7 for Nationalist Spain. All right, so we did not hit that. We did get the Nationalist Spain, so we're going to add 1 infantry to Madrid. Okay, and that's a chip that I have plenty of chips off to the side that I will add to Madrid. All right, now our combat. Okay, so just out of sight, so let me move you over there slightly. All right, we have a couple combats in the Pacific. The ever faithful battle cruiser is going to do convoy raiding on the Anzac line. That's even, max of 2. We are also sending our 2 strat bombers, 1, 2, 3, to bomb the holdouts in British Malaya. And then they'll RTB back to MAB, the Maharashtra Air Base. And that's it for the Pacific. I'll bring you over back now to where we were. Hopefully you can still see the box as well as, yeah. We are going to, from Luftwaffe 1 in Bavaria, flying 1, 2, 3, 4. And I conferred with Lancer Bolt. That heavy strategic bomber was actually in London. We are sending 1 air transport and 1 airborne infantry from Bavaria flying out to capture southern England. Since there's nothing there, and I thought there had been a bomber there, that's why I reached out to Lancer Bolt, but since there's nothing there, the fighters don't have the option to scramble because there's no combat. But had the bomber been there, I would have been giving him the option, and maybe he would have, maybe he would not have, and I would have sent fighters. But Lancer Bolt and I talked through that earlier. So that is +3 for Germany, taking us to 58 from 55, and taking the British down from 18 to 15. And I'm sure that won't last long, but General Kesselring had been pushing for this. I think he's going for the whole collection. He's got now 3 parts of Great Britain that he's owned at any one time. So good for the general. Other combats. Launching from the airbase in Gibraltar to A44. The 2 German fighters are going on maritime air patrol and attacking any British merchant shipping that comes along either the Atlantic or West African lines. The seaplane in Aquitaine, changing direction now because of the British flotilla. A29 to A21, where they're able to hit the America line or the Atlantic line. And then finally, this coastal sub in A27, which chose not to kill itself by the American fleet, will move to the historic battlegrounds of A19 to sink merchant shipping and send it down to visit the American and Italian fleets in that sea zone. That completes all of the convoy raids and all 3 of our battles for combat. Let's start with the strategic bombers doing carpet bombing. I'm going to roll 3 dice white and 3 dice black, just because Eggman and I like to track the 2 teams. Looking for 2 or less. I'm not as good at this as Eggman is. I see an 11. Can you see that? Nope. So this is an 11. 5, 5, 5, 5, 3. So all misses. Swing and a miss. So no casualties for the Gurkhas. For that, let's start doing convoy raids. So I have the black dice and the British dice. All merchant raids this turn, convoy raids, are even. We'll start in the Pacific with the battle cruiser, even against the Anzac line. So 5 to 3, always have the best luck in the Pacific. So that is a max of 2 against the poor Anzac and P-59 with that battle cruiser. All right, next up, we're going to start back up at A-19 because that coastal sub is going to hit the America line. It's +1 for the coastal sub, +1 for the merchant convoy because of anti-subtech, so it's even again. 3 to 4, so nothing. But the convoy line does get a shot back at a 2 or less. 5. So the coastal sub survives, but no trophies this round. Let me go the seaplane next, and if it hits anything, it will damage the Atlantic line. I'm sorry, the America line. The America line. Also even. 3 and a 5. So nothing there either. The seaplane will RTB in non-combat. All right. So we have left only 2 fighters. So far, again, just the Pacific luck. Fighter number 1. 2 and a 4. No luck. Fighter number 2. I don't know if you can see that. No, this is a 2 and a 3. So outside, nothing in the Atlantic. Nothing in the Atlantic. Lancer Bolt avoided all of the German attacks in the Atlantic. All right. We finished the Southern England because that was a walk-on. So let's go to non-combat. We'll start by landing all of the air that we had sent out. The strategic bombers, RTB, back to MAB. So they're returning to base at Maharashtra Air Base. Here with the Italians, Expeditionary Air Force. That was a big swing and a miss as well. The 2 fighters that were on map are going back to Gibraltar. Alexa, stop. Sorry about that. She randomizes the music now. I used to be able to set the music I wanted, but they don't want you to do that anymore. The seaplane's going back to Aquitaine. So that takes care of that. And then the air transport, which has a base movement of 6, +1 for long range air, plus another for the air base, flew out 4 and will fly back 4 to Luftflotte 1 in Bavaria. Okay, other non-combat. So let me move you slightly to the Middle East, where we have the growing Axis present. We're going to do the typical shuck. So from South Iraq to South Iran, 1 infantry. From Syria, we're going to send 1 infantry walking into South Iraq. The other infantry is going to jump on the Italian railroad and go to South Iran using the Middle East or Asia rail line. Middle East rail line. Just at the bottom of your screen, last turn you'll remember we upgraded this infantry, this militia to an infantry in Portuguese East Africa. Jump on this rail line and ride it to Cape Town. Take up garrison duty with their Italian partners. Back to the Middle East. We have this German fighter in South Iraq moving up to Syria. The transport in M8 moving 1, 2, picking up the 2 German infantry in Greece, dropping them off in Syria. The 2 German infantry in Bulgaria moving down to Macedonia in Greece to await naval transport. And out of central Romania, 2 more German infantry marching into Sofia on their way to Macedonia. Moving over slightly now to pick up the rest of Central Europe. I have, let's see, this infantry in Donislarski is moving into Warsaw to join the 9th. The infantry here, the last survivor of the American carpet bombing, doing what they should have done last time, jumping on a train and going down to central Romania, will be joined by 1 infantry from Berlin railing, so that's 2 of the European rails, and then 2 of the Panzers. And I'm out of Panzer sculpts, but I have prepared another order. Not Panzer, I'm sorry, Tiger tanks. I'm out of Tiger tanks, and I've prepared another order from HBG. So 2 Tigers are railing from Berlin to central Romania. Or in 4 Stevens chips for my Tigers. Okay. Let me see. That is Bulgaria, Greece, Cape Town, Syria, Warsaw, Iran, Iraq. Boom, boom, boom. That's everything. Now we're going to place new units. So let me bring back the buy. And that's on, yeah, that's on camera. Okay. So the Lend-Lease built in Bavaria goes right through the Austrian Alps into northern Italy. The fighter is being built in Bavaria. We'll join Luftwaffe 1. So, and I'll do a recap at the end. The militia is being built in Warsaw. I'm going to build 1 medium armor and 1 advanced mech in Romania, and 1 medium armor and 1 advanced mech in Warsaw. So the militia obviously does not count against the factory production, but the advanced mech and the medium armor do. And with improved factories, that's how we can produce 2. The airborne infantry in Bavaria, Luftwaffe 1. The single infantry in Berlin to replace what was moved. The 2 Panzer Grenadiers in East Germany. The completed fortification in Paris. So take off the under construction. We're going to start construction of the fortification and complete the air base in Paris. So this comes off and moves there. And this goes on under construction. Investing heavily in jobs in Poland, following the Chinese Manchukuo example. Our free fortification, we are going to put in Aquitaine, but not on the coast. We're going to put it in Aquitaine along the border with Normandy. That's why we're using this sculpt as opposed to the coastal sculpt for reference. So it's, I'm sorry, I said Aquitaine. It's Picardy. Picardy on the border with Normandy, not on the coastal border. So France, Picardy, up here north of Paris on the border with Normandy. Okay. And that leaves the last 2, the 2 motorized infantry. Those are upgrades, 1 IPP each of infantry in Warsaw and Romania. So I'm going to reduce each by 1 infantry. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it over next to mark the shark for the Soviet turn. But before I do that, let me recap the major status forces that I'm putting on here, so that way you can see what we have where. All right, so I took off the 2 infantry. I had to move the placards down here. So, well, let me go ahead and complete the turn in case anyone's not wanting to see us count units. So, IPP income change, just the Southern England expedition. Germany collects 58. We get bonus 10. The bonus 10 consists of 3 for Vichy, 3 for Sweden, and 4 for Southern Iraq, Southern Iran. So that's the 10. So that takes us to 68 income. And then another 5 for the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, which has been a very successful, peaceful pact between the Kaiser and the General Secretary in Moscow. All right, so this is when I would say over and out and turn it over to Mark the Shark, but I am going to recap some armies that have been off the side so everyone knows where they are. In Bavaria, Luftwaffe 1, which is our 1st German Air Force. We have now the air transport, which came back. Yep, you can see it. The airborne infantry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fighters and 2 tactical bombers, and that is in Bavaria. In Warsaw, we have the 9th Army Group, where I have 1 militia who won't be moving with the Army Group on maneuvers, but will be staying up there. And available for maneuvers, we have 4 advanced mechs, 4 medium armor, 3 regular armor. 1, 2, very sad. 3 Tiger tanks, 2 motorized infantry, 2 anti-air, 5, 8, 9, 10 infantry, and 6 Panzer Grenadiers in the 9th Army in Warsaw. And then down in Romania, the 6th Army Group is this group where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, same 6 Panzer Grenadiers, 4 advanced mechs, 3 medium armor, 3, 4, 5, 6 Tigers, 2 motorized infantry, 2 anti-air, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 infantry, and 1 cavalry. All right. And I think that's pretty much everything. Not that it was that big of a change, but in southern Iran, for the German forces, we have what's left of the DAK, artillery, light armor, medium armor, 1 infantry. And in the German Middle East force that's been sent over there, 1 artillery, 1, 2, 3 infantry, 1 mountain infantry. Okay? And with that, I'll go ahead and turn you over now to Mark the Shark and the Soviet turn for Eggman, who will join us next time. I'm Captain G. Over and out.